Do we need to go back to sew-ins? I'm feeling like we need to go back to sew-ins. It's been centuries since I've done a sew-in, and it's been even longer since I've done a sew-in tutorial on my channel. That's like OG Ambry. I pulled out my old cards to give y'all this tutorial today, to give y'all this sewing tutorial today. And before we start this video, shout out to Ivy, because everybody can say what they want to say, but without Ivy, like, the flip over method wouldn't be what it is today. The flip over method wouldn't be flipped over without Ivy. Like, if you're an OG YouTuber, if you know, you know, you know, you know, Ivy was like the pioneer of flip over, and her bling game was always strong. So shout out to my girl Ivy, because without her, I couldn't. So that's what I'm gonna show y'all in this video, how I achieved this flip over sew-in look with these beautiful, luscious, curly bundles. So let's get into these curls. This is the hair that I'm going to be using. This is from Curlsqueen. They sent me this hair and sponsored this video. They sent me 3 bundles of water, kinky curly, in the length 18 inches. These are the same braids that I used for my flip over clip-in install. I am going to sew like a wig cap net onto my hair, just because I don't know, I just really like that as a base and a foundation, instead of constantly sewing through my braids. So this is not a beginner's tutorial. You need to at least know the basics to kind of understand the things that I'm doing. I'm not gonna show like how to sew. I like to start in the back. I'm just securing the cap to the braids. And then once I finish securing, I'm gonna cut the excess cap off. All right, so let me show y'all what I got going on. I have all the excess cap cut off. So the way I'm gonna sew these bundles in is I leave the weft folded, and because that's just like a lazy way to double the weft while you're sewing. And I'm gonna start right underneath the braid like so. And then once I get a little bit further in the sewing process, I'm gonna show y'all exactly how I start and end the wefts, because I fold mine over. I do not cut. So as y'all can see, it's already looking very cute. The curls are popping, the length is cute, and I'm still only on the first bundle, and this is doubling the wefts. So now that I've gotten a little bit more, I want to show you in particular how I fold the wefts over. I take the inside weft first, because like I was telling y'all, I do not cut. I fold them over when I'm doing a sew-in, and then I'm gonna go underneath just like this, and then through the loop that you are creating with the thread, just like that. And then it's just nice and secure. And then I take the outside weft and I do the same thing, except I lay it on top of where the other weft is. And I do the same thing. I go around the weft and through the loop. And see, there you have it. Yeah, both ends of the weft are secured, and now I can continue sewing it as a double weft. So now we're at the end of the track of the wefts, and this is the only time that I sew through the weft. But I'm gonna go through the first one, take the needle through the actual weft, and then I'm gonna go through the second one. And then after I've gone through both, I'm gonna wrap the thread around the needle just like that. And I'm gonna pull the needle through. And see, that creates a nice knot. and then it's secure, and you can either cut the string or you can go ahead and start the next track and keep sewing. So I want to show y'all how it's coming along. I just finished sewing the first bundle. This is just one bundle, and it's crazy how much hair it is and how full it is. So you could really probably get away with only using one bundle, but I only doubled the wefts on the first bundle. Now I'm just going to be doing single weft sewing while I finish the rest of the look, so that the rest is just ultra flat up here on top. So for starting with the next bundle, I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to go through the cap or through the braids first, and then I'm going to start it by going through the actual weft. The only thing difference is I go through the loop, but I don't create a knot. And there we go. So now that we are now that I'm kind of at the top, I'm gonna start to curve these tracks around so that they fall towards my face for this specific type of flip over install look. Now we all know that there's multiple ways to do this type of style. For me, once I get to the top up here, I just start sewing back and forth over this little area that I have left. And like I said, I continue to fold the weft, but you also want to keep in mind that like not all wefts from each hair company are created equally. So if the wefts that you have are very thick, then you know you may need to cut them if you want a super flat install. But then also when you have curly hair is very forgiving, meaning you're going to be less likely to see the track than you would with straight hair. So just keep that in mind. So that's all I'm going to do is keep sewing back and forth until I get all the way to the front. So this is all the hair I have left. So much hair. This is the second bundle. So I used one full bundle and probably like an eighth of the second bundle, and look how full the curls are. So ooh, it's exciting. So that's it. I'm gonna go ahead and start taking down my hair because y'all know the next process is the blending process. This hair is giving. My hair is not cooperating, so I am going to do a little blending, except I'm going to use heat. So whether I'm doing a heatless blend or a blend with a curling iron, I use kind of the same technique, which is that I take a little bit of the weave and I take a little bit of my hair, and when it's heatless I ride it together, and in this case I'm curling it together so that the curls between my hair and the wefts look more uniform and synonymous.
And then last but not least, I'm just going to slick them edges down a little bit by putting a little edge control on them, spraying a little spritz, and then blowing it dry so everything stays nice, slick down and in place. Then I'm going to tie it down to lock everything in.
All right, let's see what I was able to cook up. I don't always like to use heat, but I can. The option is there. Don't play with me, y'all. Don't play with me. I had to bring these sewing hands out of retirement. So of course, I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope that you learned something. Of course, if there's anything that I can teach you or you have any questions, let me know. And if it's within my scope of practice, my knowledge is y'all's knowledge. I'm just here to share the gems. It's no gatekeeping over here, okay? Just so you know. But I really appreciate y'all watching. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. And yeah, until next time.